A lot of borrowers ask me if there's a way to improve credit score if they don't have the financial ability to pay down their credit card balances. My name is Trevor Sines with Michigan Mortgage Solutions, and we help borrowers maximize their credit scores to qualify for the best mortgage options. In most cases, we can find a way to manipulate the card balances using some creative bill paying strategies. The first thing that you'll need to do is find the reporting date for the credit card or cards you need to pay down. The reporting date is not the due date or the statement date or even the date that you send in money. It's the actual date the credit card provider reports data to the credit bureaus. I've found that the easiest way to find this date is by logging into Credit Karma, a free credit monitoring app. But use an actual computer instead of a mobile device because the computer view provides much more data. Once logged in, you can view all of your creditors by clicking on the credit menu option at the top and then clicking on accounts. From here, you will click on each credit card individually and you can see the reporting date right under the name of the credit card provider. It will say something like last reported and then a date like January 22nd, 2022. This last reported date is the most important to your credit score because whatever the balance is on this date is what will be used to determine your balance to limit ratio and calculate your credit score. You want the balance on this date to be as low as possible. In fact, I tell clients to add a reminder to their phone for a couple of days before this reporting date. The reminder should say something like, pay down credit card balance as much as possible today. Having the reminder set a few days before the reporting date will ensure that you don't miss the date and cause you to have to wait a full another month for any improvement to show. If you don't happen to have extra cash to pay down the balance, you will need to get creative with paying your bills. Most of our clients have specific bills that they pay using the money received from their personal income. They typically pay these bills directly from their bank account and include bills like utilities, cell phones, cable, internet, subscription services like Netflix or Hulu, auto insurance, or even a gym membership, but there's many others that I didn't mention. Most of these bills can be paid with a credit card, and this is where creativity comes into play. Instead of using the personal income to pay these bills, my suggestion would be to use the income to pay down the credit card balance prior to the reporting date, and then use the credit card to pay the bills a couple of days after the reporting date. This will allow you to have the lowest possible balance on the reporting date while still paying your bills on time. This takes a little bit of management, but the higher credit score makes it all worth it. One thing that may help this process would be to request a change to the due dates on the bills you will pay with the credit card. Most billing providers will allow this flexibility, and you can change the dates to a couple of days after the reporting date. This will help you avoid any late fees or negative reporting from these bills. Now, in previous videos, I've stated that the ideal balance to limit ratio is above 0, but at or below 9% of the credit limit. While this is the ideal ratio to maximize your credit score, you can still see big improvements by paying the balance down in 10% increments. For example, if you have a $500 credit limit and you owe $300 on that card, you will have a 60% balance to limit ratio. If you're able to pay that card balance down by just $50 to $250, you will improve your balance limit to limit ratio to 50%. This will have a positive impact and raise your credit score. Now, we found that for every 10% reduction in balance ratio, you can expect a 5 to 10% increase in score. In mortgages, the top of the credit score mountain is typically about a 760, which will provide the best rate and most favorable terms. Anything above a 760 is great, but it won't provide any additional benefit other than pride. Now, the next lowest tier from a 760 is a 740, and the scoring tiers continue in 20-point increments all the way down to 0. But keep in mind that most lenders won't work with borrowers under a 580 score. So if you fall anywhere between 20-point scoring tiers, you are treated as the next lowest tier. What I mean is that a borrower with a 639 credit score is treated as if they have a 620 even though they are only 1 point away from that 640. This is why every point matters, as the cost and rate for a 620 borrower is much higher than those for a 640 borrower. We are talking thousands of dollars out of pocket even though it is just 1 point in credit score. Now keep in mind that none of this matters unless you are trying to finance something like a home or an automobile. If you're needing to follow a plan like this to improve your credit score, I suggest starting the balance manipulation a couple months prior to the need for financing to ensure good results. I hope you find this information useful, and my team and I look forward to helping you get approved for a great mortgage.